I was saying appreciate the rising tide lifting all boats. Embrace the attention. Don't resent it.
What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. Today's topic will be about Calrk. As you guys know, she did get eliminated. Second game, Connecticut Suns versus the Indiana Fever. But today's topic is going to be about the petty beef, the silent beef between ESPN co-host Chanae and ESPN superstar First Take Stephen A. Smith. As you guys know, I've been reporting, making these videos, informing you all of the silent beef between co-workers at ESPN, as they all have a sour, bitter taste in their mouths towards Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith. And it all stemmed from the one and only Calrk. So let's get into this, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, thumbs up, like the video. Let's go.
Played her best basketball yesterday, trying to get her team to win. We're grateful that she has done so much to grow the game, and hopefully people can now respect it instead of trying to criticize it every step of it.
Now, guys, we already know. We saw Andrea Carter earlier this week get sunned, completely destroyed by Shannon Sharpe. And here comes Chanae. We haven't heard from her as much since her takes on Calrk. And I'll give it to Chanae. She tries to be a little fair. But at the end of the day, we all know that she's biased towards the little white girl, as the rest of them are. So you can see in this segment here, man, Stephen A. Smith is already ready to tee off because they were proven right. Okay, guys?
There are an abundance of people that have religiously respected the great talent that exists within the WNBA and the women who have done it. What has happened is that in America, you have somebody that's come along who, by the way, I'm going to go there, who happens to be white, and brought a level of attention and allure to the sport it had not received before.
And Stephen A. Smith has been arguing this, as well as me and other content creators, on how it's no disrespect. Okay, guys, it's no disrespect to the women who have paved the way for even a Calrk. They just weren't relevant. I'm sorry, like, it's no other way to say this. They were not as relevant and maybe as glaring as Calrk, because we all know that Calrk just kind of has like that it. I can't describe it, but most people know what it is when you see it. You see it in every sport. You see it with certain key players. If you have the it factor, it just seems to rub off the right way. I don't know what to call this. And these women like Chanae, who played in the WNBA, they have a problem with it because they feel like they didn't get their just due. And all Stephen A. Smith, the Shannon Sharpes, even the brothers like myself who create these videos, all we are trying to do is just tell you guys we can't help what we like. But now that you guys have our attention and the world's attention, we're going to help prop Calrk up because it's good for the game. And she was the person that attracted viewers like myself. Maybe you guys out there have been watching the league for a long time. If you have, drop those comments. I'd love to hear how long you guys have been following it. But I have to admit, Calrk is the reason, and we will see if ratings drop after Calrk. Calrk got eliminated last night. Let's pay attention to see what's going to happen to these WNBA ratings now that she's nowhere in the mix.
We were seeing from an abundance of folks appeared to be resentment. Now, what y'all, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
What some of y'all missed is somebody like me saying that resentment was justified. Because as is historically the case, a lot of times there are black folks that do a lot of great things. And the level of recognition that should come our way doesn't come our way.
And he's right. There were a lot of these type of controversial takes back in the day. We have to realize that the league was also in a different time and era where there was just a lot of segregation. Let's just call it what it is. When you're playing in a winning sport, no matter what color you are, man, you're going to have fun, and fan engagement is going to be on a whole nother level. Nobody's going to be like, I'm white, you're black. However, there are a lot of things that Magic Johnson still gets credit for to this day. I mean, like, Stephen A. Smith is pretty much trying to massage the egos and the emotions of these women by trying to give them this layup example. But what he fails to realize is that this will never work. These women, and you're going to see in a minute with Molly, because she's going to do something very totally disrespectful. These women want things their way. I don't know what's going on. I would like to blame a lot of this just on the whole DEI situation. You know, women want to be heard. She, her pronouns all over the place, man. So that's why I think a lot of this animosity comes from. And for the first time, women have been introduced to having a voice where they can talk on live TV about sports. And if you guys are in any type of industry, especially corporate America, if a woman has the same role as you, she's going to go 10 times as hard to prove herself and to also just have her voice out there.
Back in the day, that were like, well, damn, as great as Larry Bird ended up proving to be, there was still some resentment towards him because you felt like, yo, did it take that in order for Magic was doing it on his own? Magic's already a champion. Why it takes all of this in order to get the attention that we deserve? I feel there were people in the WNBA that felt that way. I just didn't think it was wrong.
No.
There's a lot of truth in this. Stephen A. Smith likes to play both sides, but he's truly passionate about how he feels towards Calrk. I mean, that's quite evident. I think what he's doing here is just trying to say that I did agree with some of the sentiment that you angry women were coming from. But in this situation, Calrk proved all of you guys wrong.
There are preconceived notions on how the WNBA is that people have to be educated to as it is right now.
How the WNBA is explained.
People perceive the WNBA to be a joke, but now we're seeing it's now a juggernaut in the sense that, hey, women should compete like this.
It's yeah. And why do you think, Chanae, why do you think that the WNBA is a juggernaut? Why do you think out of all of these years, the WNBA, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I could never even tell you when the WNBA playoffs started. I know now. Do you guys know why I know now? It's because of the little white girl named Calrk who helped the Indiana Fever make it to the playoffs since 2016 or something like that. I know it's been like 8-9 year drought since they even made the playoffs. So when she's going on here saying that people thought the WNBA was a joke, yes, we did. I mean, like, nobody likes these let's just be honest, guys. The sport is not sexy. When you see aggressive women, it's no sex appeal. There are a few now. There are a few who have sex appeal, right? But let's just be honest, man. Nobody was thinking like, let's go watch the WNBA. Let's talk about this. Let's make content about this until Calrk came. And it's just like they want the credit that she has brought to the WNBA, but they want that credit to go to them. I'm sorry, you cannot get the credit besides paving the way for Calrk. Yes, you guys did do that, but you guys didn't galvanize the sport the way that Calrk did. The sooner they understand this, the quicker they can move along.
Stage right here, we talked about how, hey, you said protect the golden goose. You said these words right here on first take. But that's not how athletes inherently are, right? We try to characterize 1 or 2 or 3 foul plays on all players, and that to me is out of pocket. That is out of pocket.
I agree with that.
So those preconceived notions on how women should compete are the issues, and that's why we today, Calrk, the reason why she's successful is because she embraced the WNBA. She chose to come in. She had an option to go back to Iowa, and instead decided to, hey, I'm gonna go through this league because I want to be the best of the best, and she proved.
What the hell is she talking about? Calrk is good because she embraced the WNBA. No, the WNBA needs to embrace Calrk. They need to embrace Calrk. It's the other way around. Like, oh, Calrk would have never got to this level if she didn't embrace the WNBA. Like, how do you sound? Calrk literally got better. We thought that she would come and do less than what she was doing in college. At least that's what the Diana Taurasi's and all of the other vets were talking about, right? She surpassed her play in college. It only took her an Olympic break to adjust. Came back, put the team on her back, took them to the playoffs. What do you mean she got good? She got good because angry women are targeting her, poking her in the eye with fake nails, fouling her on a basketball play that's not in play. Come on, guys. Like, How did Caitlin Clark get better embracing all of that BS? No, she got better by keeping her head down and staying true to herself. Her teammates got better because of the IQ of Caitlin Clark, the passing, her just basketball knowledge and presence being on the floor puts players in position to make plays. That's how Caitlin Clark got better. So what does she mean? Like, what are you talking about?
It also revealed the underbellies, the crevices of our society, but still made it interesting. But nonetheless, the competition remained the same. These women were fierce.
Let her finish.
Right there. Molly Quorum. Like, bro, this isn't your show. I don't know how Molly has a job. Seriously. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's dating this chick. She is seriously rude. I want you guys to hear this now. She's on this show because of Stephen A. Smith. But listen to how she just rudely, abruptly interrupts the two who are debating, because it is a debate show. Just listen to this.
The competition remained the same. These women were fierce.
Let her finish.
You see what I'm saying? Bro, that's crazy.
Fierce. They competed at the highest levels. They delivered when it mattered the most, and they pushed through. And that should always be respected, and that should be the narrative.
Yes.
Just freaking own it. Just freaking own it. You guys were wrong about Caitlin Clark. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp were right. Caitlin Clark proved you guys wrong. Take accountability. Move on.
Talking about don't touch on a basketball court or anything like that. I was saying appreciate the rising tide lifting all boats. Embrace the attention. Don't resent it.
Now, guys, how is that such a hard thing to do, man? And all he's trying to do is tell them that it's better to protect the brand so that everybody can win versus hating and sabotaging the brand and everybody loses out. I think that though there are a lot of viewership, a lot of high ratings, a lot of eyes on the WNBA, I think that these women would prefer for it to be low-key the way it was, because they were very happy living in their own LBGT community and nobody could criticize them in their games. And let's be honest, nobody talks about their game. Like, just be honest. I mean, besides Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese for what it was during the WNBA and Aja Wilson, I would say that, but nobody really critiques their game. So Stephen A. Smith was indeed right, just calling out this stuff, saying that just calling out this stuff and saying that they should have all worked together. But of course, Chanae, whatever her last name is, man, she does not want to admit this.
And I'm saying to you, yeah, it ain't necessarily right, because there are players who preceded her that did phenomenal things in the WNBA. They did phenomenal things for women's basketball that should have been appreciated, but nevertheless were not. Why is that? Because the society that we live in, they decide what they want to do. We can point out how wrong it is. We can point out that that's a reality that shouldn't be a reality. But what we can't do is say, this is what matters. Right. That doesn't. When the audience was telling you.
And that's case in point. Why is it so hard? It's like these women are mad at what the world wants. Okay? We're sorry that Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Candace Parker, and I got a lot of love for Candace Parker. I really do. And Lisa Leslie. Straight up. But like, we can't help that the world was not gravitating towards those women at the time. But what we can do is enjoy the fact that the world is gravitating towards Caitlin Clark and the WNBA now, because what better time than now to have the attention that the WNBA has? I mean, with all this money being freaking produced, given to them, awarded to them, like charter jets, like so many great things are going in favor for the WNBA and the Indiana Fever, man. Like, we just gotta be open and honest about that. And I agree with Stephen A. Smith's sentiments.
This is what matters. Right. That doesn't. When the audience was telling you, no, something else matters.
Let me just hold on. Let me say one thing, because
I ever heard somebody talk, man, and it just like literally gets under your skin, man. Molly Quorum is just.
Forward to Alyssa Thomas. Sure. Stephen A., what is the major point that you want to make here? Your major thesis statement on this? Because every time Caitlin Clark comes up, I feel like there's something that you want to get off your chest.
Of course, Molly is a hater, bro. Molly is, she wants to fit in with the go along, get along gang. She wants to be with the women on set, man. She is not in Stephen A. Smith's corner when it comes to Caitlin Clark, because it literally annoys her that, one, Stephen A. Smith was right, but just the support from, what did I tell you guys? Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp are the most two hated people right now on the ESPN network, especially at First Take. So Molly Quirm is going to ask stuff like this because she's trying to get under Stephen A. Smith's skin. She knows, just like I know, that Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp are going to go at them any chance that they get because they were right from the beginning.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, look, if we realize that we all appreciate where the W is and we got to keep that same energy, I see you all the time going, go New York, go New York, go. I expect you to see it at the New York Liberty game. I want to see that energy continue. Okay. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to appreciate the game, let's follow through on it, keep talking about it, and I think we're all at the same place.
Like, yeah, y'all saw how she did that, right? Basically, Stephen A. Smith, if you're going to act like you want to be so supportive of us, then you screaming New York Knicks, this, New York Giants, New York Jets, all this stuff. We need to see you at these New York Liberty games, because right now we think that you are just riding the white girls bandwagon. That's essentially what she's saying, and she was very catty and calculated for doing it as such. And it's just, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you, it's killing them to come out here and face the fact that they have to be held accountable. They were wrong and they are eating a lot of crow. I want to hear your guys' thoughts. I want to hear you weigh in with this. Drop those comments in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will see you in the next one. Peace. Yeah.